Hey, it's me! Welcome to The Last of Us Recap, aka the show where bread, pizza, and mushrooms are officially cancelled. If you've ever wanted trauma with your apocalypse, you came to the right place. Grab your gas mask and let's relive the most depressing road trip ever put on TV. Fungi goes brrr, humans become zombies called clickers. Joel loses his daughter Sarah in episode 1. HBO said, "Let's stab your feelings immediately." Time skip. We don't talk about Sarah at all for the rest of the series. Thanks, HBO. Joel is now a professional sad dad in Boston QZ, smuggling, shooting, and brooding. He teams up with Tess, his smuggling partner who is also very much alive, despite looking like she should have died 6 years ago from all the dust. They take on a new smuggling job, except this time it's a 14-year-old girl named Ellie, who is apparently humanity as a save game file, because she's immune to the fungus that turned the entire world into zombies. I mean, the Fireflies, the group that rescued Ellie, said that immunity meant she could be the key to curing the apocalypse, but honestly, it feels more like she's just the protagonist of an old-ass video game that they based this off of. Anyway, Joel plus Tess agree to smuggle her out of the city, and halfway through, Tess dies because, surprise, it's HBO. So now Joel is stuck with Ellie, and he's basically forced to unlock the saddest dad energy in existence. They leave the city and encounter Bill and Frank, two lovers who built a zombie-proof fortress and a time capsule of 1970s happiness. They were cute until they weren't. Bill died first, then Frank. Frank was terminally ill, so Bill helped him end his life by making a gourmet meal, killing himself afterward by carbon monoxide. It was like a final act of love. The whole episode made the entire internet cry and question their life choices. Then we just moved on. No time to grieve. It's just Joel and Ellie on the road again. They make it to Kansas City and meet the rebel leader, Kathleen, who's hunting down the leader of the local resistance. Meanwhile, Joel and Ellie search for smugglers to get them to Wyoming. And while they're gone, Kathleen blows the rebel leader's head off in front of everyone. That escalated quickly. On their way out, they meet Sam and Henry, a brotherly duo who joined the cast so we could get attached to someone only for them to die a few minutes later. Spoiler alert. Also, spoiler alert for the game. If you haven't played it yet, don't worry, because the last time I checked, the series had only been released for 2 weeks, so you've got time. In the QZ, Ellie gets bitten by a mushroom-infected person, revealing that she has some sort of immunity. This makes her even more valuable to the Fireflies, which is great news for Joel because that means there's a better chance that she'll survive the journey. In a rare moment of kindness, Tess gives the infected person water before they turn into a bloater, confirming that not all enemies are created equal. There are different types of infected, each more horrifying than the last. The mushroom people who bite you turn into these stalkers, which can sense danger through vibrations. Then there are the runners, which are fast and agile, and then there are the boomers, which spit acid and explode. And finally, the biggest threat, the clickers, which are blind, but they use echolocation to hunt their prey. All the infected click. Hence, clicker, they click, and it drives you insane. After a harrowing escape from a group of stalkers, Joel tells Ellie that there's no point in trying to reach the Fireflies in Wyoming. Instead, he decides to take her to a friend in Jackson, Wyoming, who could smuggle them across the border into Canada. Maybe if they move fast enough, they can stay ahead of the military. Touching moment. Joel teaches Ellie how to throw a knife while riding a horse. She teaches him how to punch a guy in the face. They both learn how to shoot, but really, they're just learning how to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. And hey, maybe even learn a thing or two about themselves along the way. Just kidding. The only thing they learn about themselves is that they're both kind of screwed up. In a surprising turn of events, they find out that the rebels in Kansas City aren't actually rebels. They're raiders who attacked the wrong house, stealing supplies and murdering everyone in sight. They spare Joel and Ellie, though, probably because they think Ellie is a little kid and Joel looks super scary. When they stop to rest, Ellie plays an innocent game of hide and seek, showing that she still has a sense of wonder despite everything she's seen. Meanwhile, Joel continues to be haunted by nightmares of the outbreak, suggesting that the writers didn't just cancel pizza, they also canceled therapy. They barely escaped the acid-spitting boomers, but luckily they found some horses to ride and a new friend named Cowboy who told them that the best place to stay ahead of the military roadblock is a small town north of Jackson. On the way, Ellie gets bitten by a runner, and although she doesn't turn into a zombie, she does get sick, proving that she's not invincible. Joel has to carry her over a river, and it's so sweet that he actually sings to her like he used to sing to Sarah. My heart just went numb. Then we met David, the cannibalistic preacher who terrorizes the town, along with his followers, James and his son, Noah. Joel and Ellie decided to stay in town instead of heading north, and then David tried to murder them. He literally wanted to kill Joel and eat him. At least Ellie stopped him by setting him on fire. Cannibal, mushroom-eating psychopath, but he did give us a cool line. "I'm not a bad person, I just do bad things." Later, when Ellie and Joel reached the church, she left to go check on James and Noah, who were hiding in the basement. Turns out they were adopted brothers. James had rescued Noah after their parents were killed in the outbreak, and he kept him hidden in the basement. But David found him and was gonna kill him. Ellie saved them, but James still shot her. And when Joel showed up, he shot James. He was supposed to help Ellie, but he ended up carrying her instead. Comfort hug, as he called it. As he carried her away, she shot James in the head. The ending of this episode was so heartbreaking, I almost forgot to mention that they stole the truck from a group of hunters and killed a deer to keep warm. The next day, Ellie wakes up and finds that Joel lied to her about what happened the night before. She tries to thank James, but he cuts her off, showing that he's still angry at her for killing his brother. Then they run into trouble when one of the hunters, Owen, catches them stealing his truck. But before things can escalate, they hear gunshots and see the military approaching the town. David and his followers try to escape, but they're killed by the soldiers. Joel, Ellie, and the others are taken to a nearby hospital. Turns out the Firefly base isn't in Wyoming, it's in Salt Lake City, Utah, and Marlene tells Joel that Ellie will be safer there. When Joel confronts her about lying to Ellie, Marlene reveals that she never gave Ellie a choice about being the cure because she didn't have one. The Fireflies would extract Ellie's brain, but she would die in the process. However, Marlene argues that it would be worth it because they could save millions of other people. Joel understandably disagrees, telling Marlene that he'd rather have his kid alive and a little crazy than dead and cured. He grabs Ellie and runs away, leaving Marlene with no choice but to shoot at him. The soldiers open fire, but Joel manages to escape with Ellie. And that's The Last of Us, Season 1. Fun guy zombies, sad dad energy, and one giant moral debate. Is Joel a hero or just the world's most selfish dad? You decide. Until Season 2 drops, remember, don't eat bread and avoid dads with shotguns. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media for more updates. See you later. Bye.